Yes, good morning. It's Raheemah here. It's a beautiful morning with the sun up in Abuja, Nigeria. So, how are you there? I don't know wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. It's another lovely morning, and if you know me, I love resetting. That the things that have gone in the past are in the past. Maybe there are some things you didn't get done last week, they are gone. So just press the reset button and kind of start all over again. I love it. I love that concept because it keeps you grounded in the presence and you're not always looking back at what you have not done or some stuff you that are still left to be done. There's always work. There'll always be work to be done. Thank you, Kosum, for joining me. Good to have you. So this morning, I just want to share some nuggets I got from a summit I attended over the weekend. It was such an amazing summit. It's titled Becoming the Women in Leadership, and it was in commemoration of the World International Women's Day that was celebrated some weeks back. Thank you, Nuptia Nuggets, for joining me. So, what are the nuggets? Most times as women, we kind of beat ourselves so much. We beat ourselves up about not doing some things or not accomplishing some things. We have this idea in our head that at certain age, time of a certain level, most time we look at age-wise, that we're supposed to have achieved some things. And it doesn't really go that way, right? And if you've not achieved those things, those assumed things, then we feel dejected, we feel not useful, no, other sort of things. So the Becoming Summit was amazing. So as I said, I'm going to share some of the gems I picked from them. And they had to do with three sets of I think industry. There's the tech, there's the literary, and the other one I can't remember now, but I attended the days 1, 2, and 3. So now this is all about women, right? And it was so amazing. And what I love most about it was because the summit wasn't so dry. I'm a literary person, so the two I enjoyed the most actually. So now most of the gems I am going to share. Thank you, Fit Power Appa, for joining me. They're going to be on literary. They're going to be majorly literary stuff. So now, some of the title, there's one of the title, Finding Your Voice. And I love this so much because it's part of what I do as a book coach. I help Muslim coaches to help them get their voice out there through their book. And when you get your book out there, you impact millions of lives. So this Finding Your Voice, or the story about one of the speakers, what she went through about her identity. She was she was conceived out of wedlock. Her father didn't get married, so it was sort of an identity crisis for her. So she shared the stories, and you can just relate with it so much. So now she said because of that stigma she had attached to her made her not to find her voice. But as she grew up, as she grew older, she found a way to release her voice. Thank you for joining me, ladies. Cleopatra Traditional. So what she shared was I'm going to be reading from my notebook. Yes, she said, when you are not clear, why is your voice not coming out? You have to ask yourself that. What is the reason why you are not saying your truth? What is it? When you've earned the right to be in the room, use your voice. Yes, most times we feel we're not good enough, right? However, we have all what it takes. And whenever we find ourselves in a situation where we are given the opportunity, it's always good for us to use our voice, because you don't know who is going through that same thing you're going through at that moment, so that when the person listens to your story, the persons will be relatable, relate to your story, and be able to also share a story too. So it's amazing. Then surround yourself with people who reinforce who you are. Yes, this is very important. It's very important. You don't want to be feeling like inferior with people that are not so true to themselves. So always surround yourself with people who reinforce who you are. Then find your purpose. That's another thing. Then this one really hits home, right? Like the gravity. This has to do with literary. It said the gravity of intensity of the problem you solve for others will impact your influence, your impact, and your income. So think about that. When you solve one problem for someone, it's going to impact you in every way. So always look at it from that view. Don't just look at what's in it for you. Always look at it for helping someone. Whenever you give solutions to something, someone, another person, you definitely make impact, income, and your influence too. So another thing is writing is a problem solving tool. Yes, writing is a problem solving tool. As I mentioned earlier, one of the speakers, she wrote a book about part of what she went through, right? And she connected with me, with people, some people that have gone through the same experience with her. Do you get? Just imagine if she has not shared her story, will she have connected with those people? And will those people have come out to, speak out their truth? They wouldn't have. So it's a huge courage for you to be able to come out. And doing that is using writing. Because writing solves problem. And that's why I love what I do. Seriously, like writing your book helps another human being. Yes. For example, I wrote a novel last year. I published it last year, and I've been getting amazing. It's a novel actually, it's a non-fiction. It's a novel, not non-fiction. So I've been getting amazing responses, and I'm so happy because that book, even though it's a novel, could impact people. It helps them to see themselves in different light. So another gems that I got is reading other people's books creates a roadmap to solving problems in your own sphere. And this makes a lot of sense. Yes, and it has happened to me because as I was listening to the summit, there are a lot of things I got that I could implement in my own coaching business that I'm already looking at for. So, and books too. When you read other people's books, it inspires you to write yours, or inspire you to do something that you want to do. Then what else? Okay, there's this thing. Yes, let me give you so another thing is anything can be healed. The battle is in our mind. Yes, most often than not, we feel that this thing doesn't have a solution, that we are the only one going through it because it's in our head. We're not sharing with another person. And the magic will happen when you share it, and you find out, oh my God, I'm not the only one going through this. It solves half the problem. So anything can be healed, actually, and the battle is literally in our mind. Then, okay, let me give you the last one. This has to do with literary. I told you that most of it, the gems I'm sharing, be literary. So now, qualities of a good book. If you're planning to write your book, whether non-fiction or fiction, you can use this acronym. It's called PIE. That's P-I-E. And the P stands for persuade. Ensure your writing is persuade. Then inform. That your book inform people what you want to inform them with. Then it entertains. Ensure your book entertains. So that's what I've got for you. And another thing, okay, let me chip this in. When writing, this is the last one I promise you, okay. So when writing, use this acronym, MORE. That's M-O-R-E. One of the speakers shared it, and it's so amazing. I love acronyms because it's easily remember. You can easily remember it. So MOR stands for, when you're writing your book, remember this acronym, MORE, MORE. M stands for memorable. Make your book memorable. Make your writing memorable. Then observational. Make your book observational. Your writing. Make your book or writing relatable. That kind of thing. When someone reads it, like, oh, that's my story. Relatable. Then the R stands for revolutionary. Yes, make your writing or book revolutionary. Lastly, make it educational. So that's what I've got for you. Yes, thank you for joining my sis with the kids. Yes, it makes you to remember. I love acronyms. That's why I love it so much. I used to use it in school when I was in school because it's easily you remember easily. So I hope this nugget helps you. Let me know in the comment section what the insights you learned from the gems I shared. I love sharing tips. I love sharing stuff with you as I learn them, because we could grow together. I love it when we grow together. And there's this saying that what you learn and share, it's retained. You'll be able to retain it easily. You don't forget it. So do have a blessed week. And thank you all for joining me. Billy Murphy, Cleopatra, Fit Upper, Nuptial Nuggets, Kosum. Thank you so much for joining me. So have a lovely day till another life.